Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Anna.
Kyla Teal. Oh, hey, girl, out in your yard. I see you. Hello, Naomi, Kristen, Sophie. Welcome, you guys. Hi. There might be a couple more people coming in. Just go ahead whenever you can drop in the chat where you're calling in from and why you're here, why you said yes to this, to money. Yeah, Sophie, further expansion. Welcome. Hello, Amy.
Hi. Sorry, I don't know why it says Clara.
I was like, I don't know who that is,
Yeah.
but we're here for her.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead, share in the chat. Where are you from? Why are you here? Like, you're
Mhm.
here for 60 minutes of money talk. Okay. Ventura, California. I feel uncomfortable talking about money and I love learning from you. Oh, Naomi, excited to have you here. So as we're gonna get right into it, I want you, this was $20, right? 16 pounds if you're in the UK. I want you to think about what if you had spent $1,000 on this, the 60-minute masterclass. Okay, how would you show up differently? Would you put your phone to the side? Would you go into a different space? Right? Whatever you think you would need, right? The more we put in, sometimes we'll like I need to get everything out of it. So imagine that that's what you spent on this. So if there's anything that you need right now to shift, to adjust, to get every single nugget on here, go ahead and do that. Kyla, yes, want to encourage and making money this year. Okay, amazing. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just get started. And if more people come, they come. Welcome. I'm Anna. So nice to see you guys. Money, just whatever comes out of your body right now, I invite you to do that. Like whether that's just like, ugh, money, or like, yes, money, like embody that with your body right now. So whatever you need to do some camel breathing, whatever feels good, stretching. Yes. Okay, we're in it. We're in this topic. It can be sensational. And we're going to have fun with it. We're going to learn and talk about money. These 60 minutes are for you to, yeah, just take away more clarity, right? Everything starts with awareness. You want to call something into your life, you need to know what to call in. We can't define a target that we don't know what it is, right? We don't know what the target is. Um, so yeah, it's going to be fun. I want you guys to act as if this is like a classroom right now. So if you want to go on mute, would love to see your face. If you're a shy bird and want to stay off video, that's okay too. Go ahead and just start saying out loud, money is what to you? When I think about money, so don't be shy.
When I think about money, I cringe.
Okay, cringe. Yeah. What else?
I get excited.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. What else, guys? Cringe. I get excited.
Overwhelmed.
Say that again, Kristen.
I feel overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
I get anxious.
Anxious.
I feel like it's always like complicated. Like it's never simple.
Yeah. Okay. So cringe, excitement, overwhelm, not sure if there's simplicity in it, if it's complex. Yeah. Sophie, do you have one? She might not be.
Yeah, so I think for me, money is also a bit of a cringe factor. My body definitely goes more tense when I think about money. It's more of a body reaction for me than sort of something I can articulate in an emotion.
Yep. Yeah. So all of this, right? Like wherever you're at with money right now, trust that you'll gain something from this experience, and then you can take that and bring it into your world however you want that to look. Money is energy. Yeah. We've probably heard this. Money is an exchange. It's a frequency. It's an energy. And what does that make you? Energy. Okay. So if money's energy and your energy, in some ways, money is you and you are money. What usually happens is that we separate self from money. Money becomes a character. And this character, a lot of times for us, can be, well, it's easier for us to maybe villainize the character of money. Money's bad. The patriarchy makes it this way. The inflation rates, like, if only this, versus if it was coming from within, if we are money, perhaps the conversation would be a bit different. So when we separate ourselves from money in that way, and when we look at it as two different forms of energy, it's so much easier to sometimes play victim in our life. I'll never get the amount that I want. Money just never fully fills up in my bank account. I work really hard. Like I work so hard, and I just every month, I don't know. Right? Thumbs up if you're like, yeah, I feel that. I've resonated with that. So when we're in that state, okay, and we can separate the self from money, it allows us to create the stories and the validation of whatever you might believe, which we'll dive into. Whatever is in the core of what you believe around money. If we embody it and we say, no, money is energy and I'm energy and we're the same, you might be able to operate from a place most likely of love, of abundant receiving. The exchange is always flowing. It's a dance. Money is a relationship. And what we're going to figure out is like, is money for you? What kind of relationship is it? If this was a romantic partnership, what kind of partner are you dating? Right? Is it push and pull? Is it toxic? Is it so loving and nurturing? So, what we're going to do is dive into an exercise shortly. So if you have a piece of paper, you can get that. Money in our belief system, money flows based on the beliefs that we have. And these beliefs, most of them come from when we were kids. So 0 to 7 years old is real important. So the things that your parents, that your caretakers, that your community, that the people that you were around in your life at that time, the words they used, the actions they did, the way they loved, the way they treated money gets stored into our subconscious. And as an adult, we operate out of that. Can this be changed? Can this be adjusted? Yes, thank goodness for neuroplasticity. Our brains can do really cool things. However, when we are triggered, when we are scared, we're operating from that place. 0 to 7, hi. Bring in those like inner children into the room. They're here. They run the show. Okay. So the subconscious is where we mostly operate from. But as human beings, we've gotten real smart at operating from the conscious, from our neck up, I call it. The mind, the head. Like, hey, yeah, I want money. I'm calling in money. I'm so open to money. Okay. We don't manifest from our thoughts, though. We don't get from our thoughts. We get and receive from our subconscious, from our body. from the neck down. Yeah. So that's why, and it's like, that's why when people are like, feel it in your body, it's like, it's really going into what is coming up in your body at like a nervous system level, your capacity to receive, your capacity to hold money, your capacity to say, I'm actually worth a damn, right? I'm valuable. We don't need money to tell us that. But we've made it this thing. And so we operate, we're sometimes up here and we're sometimes in the body. When we're in the body part, it's a bit scarier. It requires a bit more tools, a bit more safety around you, which you can all learn. And you might already have those tools. So if we're learning everything from 0 to 7, right? That's kind of how everything's been programmed into our brain, into our worlds when it comes to money. That's huge. So you may have already thought about this. We're going to do it again because there's never enough opportunities to talk and integrate and investigate. What is your relationship like with money? What was it like? What is it like? What do you want it to be like? It can be a real nice partnership. Yeah. So I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to draw a line in the middle. And on one side, you're going to write mom, and on one side, you're going to write dad, or mom and mom. Or if you didn't have a mom or you didn't have a dad, caretaker 1, caretaker 2, grandma, grandpa, mom, society. And if it's just one person in your life, that's okay. So if you have the two, you draw a line down the middle, and I want you to write 3 to 5 beliefs, statements, thoughts, feelings that they had toward money that you remember as a kid. So an example would be my mom always said, we don't have enough money. Never enough. Oh my God, save your pennies. Why would you buy designer jeans? Oh my goodness. Okay. My dad, what are you talking about? We have so much money. We're going to go on vacation next month. Can I pay for your ticket? So go ahead, 3 to 5 beliefs on each side. Just a couple more minutes here. So as you look at what you wrote, I invite you to get a little bit more curious, jot down any themes that you're seeing here or any kind of main points. What did you take away from hearing mom always said that we needed to save our pennies and dad would buy me everything that I wanted? To me, that was really confusing. That created a very binge style way of dealing with money. There's never enough. There's so much. Which one is it going to be today? So go ahead and jot down a couple of these overall themes or words. So our capacity to receive is capped. There's a glass ceiling when we don't know what the pattern is, when we keep operating in the pattern. And if our brain is always like, but I'm trying to keep you safe, even if safety was toxic, because it's about survival, our body's just like, yo, I'm trying to keep you like in survival mode. I'm trying to keep you in a state of like, we survived. Let's go on another day. As humans, we've developed and been like, wait a minute, like we can have a really great life. And like, we don't have to be constantly running from tigers that no longer exist because we're not doing what we used to do back in the day. But our brain is always, it's like looping all the time. It's like, well, at least we survived, even if it was bad, even if, right? So we'll keep validating whatever old story, belief, mindset we have around money. So whoever feels called to share what you notice from your upbringing, go ahead, unmute yourself, give it a go.
Yeah, I can share, Anna.
Yeah, Sophie.
It's quite sad actually, mine, what I uncovered. So mum had this thing around, never having enough, that money would always like abandon her in some way. And then my dad had this thing of always saying like, no, you go and earn it yourself. My dad was quite selfish with money. So in essence, I had these two people that it kind of felt like there wasn't help from either one of them because of this scarcity thing. So in a way, the words that I've written down are sort of abandonment and unworthiness of sort of money from either side, which is quite interesting. Quite
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah, and in some ways they seem like there's a kind of similar energy, although one is like I'll never have it, and the other one's like I'm gonna make sure like
Yeah.
I have it, but it feels like there's still they're still operating out of fear, right? There's a fear
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's true.
And how, Sophie, how does that those two, that kind of pinpoint from each side, what does that now, how do you view money or that relationship now?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was going to say before we did this exercise, with the sort of tenseness in my body, it's because it's like I'm always waiting for it to leave, in essence. It's like I have money and I have enough, but it's like I never get into a point of like surplus, because I think this expectation that, you know, the surplus will always end up going somewhere, you know, it will always leave somehow, you know. So that's
Yeah.
quite interesting.
Yeah. It's like you've embodied both in some ways. It sounds like you've gone out and you've done the deed and you've done the job and it sounds like you work hard, and the other belief around, but it might not fully come. It might not raise to the position that I'm wanting it to be.
Yeah.
So go ahead and write that one down, Sophie, that kind of underneath those, the ways of your caretakers, underneath that, the belief is what you've just shared.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, who else feels called to share?
I'm happy to share.
Yeah, Amy.
So growing up, like being like a child of immigrants, it was a lot of like conflicting beliefs between my mom and dad, because like my mom would say like, oh, don't worry about money. Like if I was to ask like, can I go on this field trip, or like, can I buy this? But I realized like with my dad, it's like always like it's like scarcity trauma. Considering like he went through the war and everything. And so there's just like conflicting of like, oh, we're not like poor, but like we have enough to provide for our kids, but we're not being frivolous. And so it was like kind of like a don't use your money on if you need, unless you absolutely need to, but like save money, but also like there was a bit of like a permission type of relationship of like, oh, ask mom if you can buy that. And so like as like a grown adult, it's like I now work for my money and I can provide for myself, and I appreciate and like I'm grateful for that. But I just simply, because I feel like my parents shielded me from like if we ever had any like money problems, like I don't have like a relationship with money. I just like don't know what to do with money, and I just can only default to like, oh, just save it or just don't use it, or like yes, have experiences, but I would like to like move to a place where it's like, oh, I want to be like in abundance, or like be able to be smarter about my money than just like leaving it there.
Yeah, like it sounds like it was not clear. Like
Yeah.
where's the money? Who is it coming from? Are we okay? Are we not okay? And the influence probably of someone, that kind of your dad going through the war too, like this, that is in a state of survival, right? So we must survive. So surviving's not always staying like really present with what we have. It's kind of just like, I don't know, we have money there. You just do the deed and move forward, like not thinking too much about what's current or something.
Yeah.
So for you, Amy, what is that belief? How does that manifest now?
I guess like now it's like I definitely like I've for like a long time now I've been trying to like break like the generational trauma for a few years now, and it's more like I don't know, like the belief is just kind of like I don't want to be in like a state of survival because I don't need to be, and would rather just be able to like move to a mindset of like I'm not scared of using money to build generational wealth. Like I don't want to be anxious around money, and like I understand that my parents have gone through a lot because of immigrating to the States, but I don't need to be in their scarcity trauma mind state. So it's kind of the conflicting beliefs, I think, if that answers the question.
Yeah. Yeah. And and I think the part about being like if they're, it sounds like that kind of a little bit of ambivalence that was there too, of like, I don't know, like, where's the money, where is it? It's like, really, my encouragement is to continue for everyone to think about money as like a romantic partnership or the closest person to you relationship of like, right, if our attachment styles, which I'll get to in a minute here, they're presented, we are showing up in a certain way in our relationships. And it's like, someone that might be in an ambivalent relationship or dismissive, avoidant attachment or something would be like, oh, I don't know, money shmoney comes and it goes, right? Like this kind of idea that like, who knows? Or somebody else that maybe is more on the anxious side, and anxious attachment would be more on like, I'm gonna do, because that is gonna make me have money. But any of those attachments are we're still grasping, right? We're still grasping something like there might not be enough. I might not get it. It's never surplus. One more share. Anyone feel called?
I can go.
Yeah, Kyla.
So yeah, growing up, my dad was like the main earner in the house. So he was definitely approached money like more responsibly, and he worked really hard, and we could all really see how much he worked. Whereas my mom was definitely more loose with money. Like she, luckily she was just able to kind of like take us out shopping and be really generous, and just, what I put down for her was like more like, oh, let me get that for you. We'll get it, like talking about a restaurant bill or something. And she continues to do that. Whereas my dad, I remember growing up, he'd be more careful and just kind of tell us, like, we have to turn the lights off. You guys left the fans on in your room, or, and he was generous as well, but you could definitely feel he was the more careful and logical guy in the house. And my mom just kind of is a bit, it's interesting because she grew up really poor. So she has like that history of not having money, but now she's in a situation where she has money, or my dad's earning money for both of them. So she's a bit more blasé about it.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely two opposing like forces there. And I guess they're both very generous, and they made us do like lots of chores from a young age. And when we did those chores, we earned like an allowance every week. So we learned like, hard work gets you money. Basically, you're not just given it. But I think like as an adult now, I can be quite both ways with money, like when I have it, I feel like I can be quite loose with money and not very responsible. And then when I'm, short, or, it's getting tight, I can, I don't know. I don't think I have a very healthy relationship. And I guess it's helpful that you just mentioned it's like it is like a relationship, and I kind of see it more like it's either I'm taking advantage of the money, or the money is taking advantage of me. So it doesn't feel very nurturing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of a tug of war. Like who's getting it this time? Am I gonna like go into total like woo, like I'm free, or like, oh my God, I really need to like pay attention to this. The safety, right? If our brain is constantly trying to get us there into that place of like, go back to safety, go back to safety, go back to comfort zone, it's going to keep you at a place that doesn't exceed that. That well, both roles really well. It sounds like, to like give, and you also know I'm going to be really tight, but there's the kind of, I guess, the binginess in that, right?
Yeah.
For me, I'll share quickly. I at one point was in $22,000 of debt. This had to do with my own spending. And they oftentimes, if it's a relationship, right? It's like the relationship to myself was at the lowest. Okay. I was, for my body size, my body weight, I was the heaviest I had been with the highest amount of debt I had been. Okay, the correlations are true. Money, love, food. How we treat one, we typically treat the others. How we show up in one part of our life, we typically show up in the other parts. So it's just asking yourself, getting to know, getting really curious, like, if this is how I show up with money, is this also manifesting in other ways in my life? Am I also pushing and pulling here? Am I also kind of like holding tight, then letting loose? Am I also like, yeah, money comes my way. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it really does. Is it hello up there? Are you coming down? I'm waiting for money, right? So taking that inventory, getting to know it, the attachments here, right? Going back to like attachment theory, how we show up as human beings with one another. We show up and we have this kind of level of attachment based on how our caretakers were with us. So there's secure attachment. So secure attachment to money would be like, I trust that money flows my way. And if you dip in it, you're kind of like, it's all good, baby. It's here. Anxious would be, again, kind of like, I'm going to create so much, so hard. And that'll bring the money. But guess what happens when it comes into your bank account? It's not enough. Oh, next time I'll do more. That'll get it going, right? They did this study on this on tons of people, but people that were making tons of money. Okay, I think like $8 million. And she went to this financial guru and she was like, I really struggle. I go to this grocery store and I just want to have a life where I'm not counting, how much everything's adding up to. What they kind of came to understand is that it doesn't matter what level of money we have in our life, if the belief is still at the core, it's still the same thing. It will never be enough. So someone with $8 million net worth is counting pennies at a grocery store, right? So the other two attachment styles, so dismissive, right? Being like, whatever, comes and goes. I don't really care. I don't give a fuck, like middle fingers up, right? And then fearful. Oh my God, like we do not have money. This is really scary, or I don't even want to look at my bank account. Yeah. So getting to know that part of you, like what is the attachment? And we can grow into we can mold into secure. That's the really beautiful part about us as human beings. Yeah. So, if something's coming up, I invite you to like let your body loose, getting heated. Yeah. Really quick, write down a belief that you have based on what your parents, caretakers said. So if you haven't done that yet, just write down one belief. So maybe it's my belief is that I never have enough. My belief is that money is really hard work. Getting money is hard work. My belief is that it's evil. It sucks. It's annoying. It's frustrating. Now, this is just a practice. This is something that you'll need to try on, to work on, right? We've got the 60-minute window to like get through this part, but you can take this with you. What would be a better, more aligned belief now in your life? Money works for me, not against me. Money is a tool, not a problem. Money is not defined by my parents. you know, sometimes with money, we'll also look at it as like a problem, right? We'll be like, there's, oh God, we always need money for these things. It's true, we do. We live in this like 3D world where we like need money to live, unless you want to go live in igloos, which is cool by me. But it's like the wealth mindset, and wealth does not equal a millionaire. Okay. This is an abundance mindset rather than a lack mindset, is all about this is not a problem. Money is a tool, money is a solution for me. It's a bridge, it's a stepping stone, right? Like just like air. We don't think about air and think what a problem, right? It's like it's a tool for us to survive. So shifting our mindset, right? This requires a kind of over and over and over again until the old loop turns into a new loop. Little neural pathways in our brain, the little highways that are saying money is wrong, money is hard, money that it requires a lot of work. It's bringing in a new belief, that new belief, and being like, money is a tool for me. Money is at my disposal. Money is coming my way. There's more than enough money. So I invite you to do this, you know, on your own time with do a whole list of old beliefs and new beliefs and start to try them on. I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Whatever feels good. Yes. Yeah, money. I want you to notice in your body, okay? Just start scanning your body, noticing whatever's there, breathing in to any places that have tension, sending oxygen, air that way. And I want you to think about a number that would feel nice to receive. Let's say in 3 months, you're like, I'm calling in X amount of money. That would be really nice. See that number, make it up front, close and personal. Let it come up to you bold block letters. This is the number I want. Notice any excitement that comes with that. It's kind of like, that feels good. Woohoo. Yeah, that feels exciting. Take a deep breath here. Be with that number. That's there. Now I want you to add a 0. If you were calling in 5,000, 50,000 now, what just happened in your body? Did you contract? Did you push it away? Did you get small? Did you get big? Did you get even more excited? Did you deflect and be like, what? Who? What happened? Notice that shift in your body. That is the subconscious showing you what is present, how you view the world, how you show up. Your relationship to receive, your capacity to hold more money lies in what your body just did. So slowly making your way back into the room, into the space, shaking it out if that feels good. What happened in your body, if anyone, 1 or 2 people want to share? When an added 0 was there, what happened?
that I immediately was like, no, no, that's too much. Who will I become if I have that exorbitant amount of money?
Naomi, that's amazing. I want you to write that down. Who will I become if I make that amount of money? That is such a good opportunity. Like that character within yourself that was like, needs soothing, needs comfort. And you can reassure that character, that part of you. We do not need to change who we are, how we show up in the world because more money comes in. The inner child within that's like, I don't know. That's scary. Yeah, beautiful. Who else?
Mine was kind of similar to yours, Naomi, but I immediately just went to not possible. And like almost I think that overwhelm of I would just have to work way too much. So there's no possible way that I could work, it was attached to effort in a really negative way. I would totally lose myself or sacrifice all peace in order to make that amount of money.
Yeah, not possible.
Yeah.
Here's the glass ceiling. Nope. Can't reach it. Can't go above it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe if I did, yeah, I don't know. What would I have to do? What would I have to sacrifice?
Yeah. I will say when it comes to sacrifice, so there's a spectrum like with anything, but any relationship that we have, there is compromise. The romantics of the world don't like to tell us this. You're supposed to meet your prince or princess ever after, and there's no compromising, no sacrificing, right? But if we're treating this as a relationship, just like any romantic partnership, it's the same thing. It does require compromise. It does require sacrifice. However, it's what you value to be important. What do you value? Somebody that is living in a wealth mindset, again, this doesn't mean they're a millionaire. Anybody could have a wealth mindset. Somebody that's living in a wealth mindset, $6, £6, $6,000, 6,000 pounds doesn't make a difference to them. It's not about that. It's about the value of it. If everything's an exchange, if everything's a dance here, what am I getting in exchange? How will this help me? Right? We can't even become wealthy if we're just only saving. We have to invest. We have to put forward. We have to show up and be brave. A lot of people, we just kind of sometimes are like, I'll just sit and wait, see what happens. Right? So go ahead and close your eyes one more time. Let it out, breathe it out. Feeling your body, just noticing your nervous system, how it's doing. I want you to prepare your nervous system. Imagine you're talking to it and saying, we are preparing ourselves for abundance right now, wealth, joyfulness, gratitude. What if you knew that your dreams, your manifestations already were on their way to you? Everything was already on the way. I want you to imagine that today, this evening, you were given a crazy opportunity. Yeah. The amount of money in this opportunity blew you away. You couldn't even imagine. $1 million, 1 million pounds. If that's too much, lower it. Okay, $250,000, $50,000 pounds. Whew. You were given this opportunity today. Wow. And this person was giving you a check. Like, all right, I'm writing you this check for $1 million. You knew it was coming, right? You know it's coming. It's on its way. It was a fact in your mind, knowing this check is literally on the way to me. This amount of money. You wouldn't have it for the next 10 days because it processes and you have to bring it to the bank and all that. But feel the feeling of knowing that this money is already yours, even if you can't touch it right now. You know it's yours. You would likely walk differently. You would likely talk differently. Your energy would likely be different. You're going to your neighbor's house, your friend's house, knowing this check is on its processing. How are you showing up? This is the ultimate feeling for creating the life you desire. You need to expect it. That middle ground feeling where it's like, you know it's coming, you just can't see it yet, but it's on its way. How do you show up? How do you connect with others? How do you treat the other parts of your life, your world? That is the feeling. Embody it. What does it feel like knowing that this money is here? It's coming. I want you to believe it with your whole heart. Allow yourself for this moment, for your whole heart. It's here, it's coming, it's on the way. The more you feel this, the closer you'll get. Live like you know it's already yours. What you want is closer than you think. And keep reminding yourself on how it feels to know and trust that what you want is already on its way and it's already yours. I invite you to slowly open your eyes to your paper. Taking your time. Someone that I really admire, Ramit Sethi. I'll share more information with him in an email with you guys along with resources. He talks about the rich life and what your definition of a rich life is. Something that we don't usually ask. We don't ask if you have a partner. We don't like, what's your definition of a rich life? Definition of a rich life is everything. It's fundamental for the way that you show up. And the way that you show up first starts within, right? With believing you are worthy of receiving, of bringing in more money, of love, whatever. It starts with us. That energy shift that perhaps you felt in that visual, where it's like, oh my God, that would be amazing. I'd be like pepping down the street, like, hey, everybody. Why do we stop ourselves from doing that? Because it's not coming, right? Like it equals, well, I'm not going to get it. How do we know? Embodying that frequency, right? Abundance happens when we're in a higher frequency. Money gets downloaded into our system of receiving when we are at a higher frequency. It's frequency. So your definition of a rich life will help you show up in the world in the way that you want to receive the world. Your definition of a rich life might be, I want to get my nails done every month. I get a massage twice a month. I fly business class after 5 hours, like within 5, if it's a 5-hour plus flight. So go ahead and write some down right now that are present. And you might already be living part of this. You might already have a rich life. And you might not even know it. You might be like, oh yeah. So go ahead and write some of these down. My rich life. Maybe it's that you don't start work until 10 a.m. Mine is that I don't work on Mondays. Example. So my encouragement is for you to continue to create your rich life. If you do have a partner, invite them into your world. What's your definition of a rich life, partner? You might be like, whoa, it's so different than mine. That's okay. You get to learn, right? Sometimes we're really caught up in like, well, we should be making this amount of money. And if only this, then. We all have a thermostat of like where it gets too hot. We're like, ah. So play with your thermostat. What would feel exciting? Sometimes we'll say, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. It's too much, too much, too much. But that's the same feeling as overflow, you guys. Abundance is the same. It's the same. Like, oh my God, whoa. We just embody it differently. We just tell ourselves that it's different. If you had that money coming in the bank, things would feel probably different. So this kind of act as if, but defining targets in your life of what you want. What does the rich life look like for you? You want to make 200,000 a year? Why? Get really clear with yourself. Why? What would that bring me? Why that number? Oftentimes it's shadowed by because my parents said so, because I want to prove to the world that I can do it. And instead of money coming in and us thinking, it might not be enough. Am I doing it right? It's like thanking money as if it were the partner of your dreams in front of you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful you're here. That's abundance coming in. That going back to like overwhelm, to overflow, yeah. Come in. $5, $10, $5,000. If we can't honor it at the $5, we can't honor it at the 5,000. Nothing changes. I'm going to send you guys some resources and kind of a next step I'm hosting some of you are part of the bundle deal, but on taking action next week masterclass. So you might be like, oh yeah, okay, now I want to like start planning for my money future. What does that look like? My invitation to you is to get your beliefs down, really get them down, understand. That's only when we can change a pattern around money. Get your rich life there, focused, visualize it, bring it into your world, close your eyes one day, be like, okay, this is what I want. This is my rich life. And then from there, pick one thing to work on. Maybe you want to start a savings. Maybe you want an emergency fund. Maybe you do want to call in X amount of money for the month. What's one step to get to that? Might be an action, might be a mindset shift. I would love for you each to kind of close off with one rich life that you've written. So Teal, do you want to start us off?
Well, the thing that I wrote down that just feels a lot really present for me right now is that my rich life would look like being able to build a property that I've been dreaming of, build on a property that I've been dreaming of. That's like my dad's property, my property with my dad. That just feels like such a dream. So.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And with that, Teal, with all of them, but go through each one, the one step that you can take towards that. What does that look like? So thinking for yourself, what would that look like to get that process started? Or
Yeah. I mean, the process to get that started, or like what's in my head right now, is just that I need to know, like I want to be curious about what like the real costs are versus what the costs I think they are.
Okay.
So
Beautiful. Yeah. Kyla. Oh, you're muted, love.
Sorry. Yeah, one of them is like just to have a garden. I live in the UK like Anna, and having a garden in the UK is quite hard. So right now I have like a little concrete patch, and I just would love to like step out and be in grass in my yard. So I guess that would be getting a bigger house with a garden would be an important thing for me.
Yeah. Or looking up small spaces, garden ideas.
Yeah.
A little herb garden or,
Yeah.
whatever. Beautiful. Naomi.
Yeah, to have a house where I can hire like an interior decorator to like invest in that to help like I have visions of like carpets and beautiful lounge chairs and light fixtures and stuff like that. So yeah, I have the funds to do that.
Beautiful. Yeah. I want that. Amy.
My rich life would be that I don't have to work a traditional 9 to 5. As I am at my 9 to 5.
Okay.
Something that I could do to work towards it is maybe really looking into what it means to build up like a virtual assistant like business if I really wanted to pursue that, so that I could not have to do the usual work day.
Yeah. Yes. Kristen.
So one of mine is I want to have a bathtub outside. Like I want to have a piece of land and like be in a forest and have an outdoor bathtub.
Yes.
I like your action step, Teal. Yeah, like what is that? I don't know what that costs. Maybe that's not even that hard.
I know quite a bit of people that have them. So, and for all of you, and Sophie, I'd love to hear from you too. For all of you, it's like whatever that action step is, it's like, what is the underlying desire of it? I want to be taken care of in the bathtub. I want to spend more time in nature. I want to feel really nourished with my garden. I want to look into my house and feel like this is the coziest thing ever. So that is the desire. That's what we can live through now, embody now. Yeah. Sophie, and then yeah, we'll close out.
So mine was to be able to travel more. At present, I probably travel like once a year. I'm in a long distance relationship, as you know, as well. So travel to, you know, in Europe is pretty common, but I'm like, I really want to do some more long haul, you know, and just not worry about having to save up for it and stuff like that. And I guess the underlying theme is just to feel more freedom, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, freedom, adventure. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you find that in your world right now, right? Like thinking about that, like how can I feel free today? Maybe I'm like doing a crazy dance. How can I feel adventure today in my own town? So thank you guys so much for coming. You'll get the recording, the resources, and kind of next steps that I would encourage you to do. Sending you lots of love, good money vibes your way. And we'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.